guys? Black Scout Survival Late Night Live. Thanks for tuning in. So we've been talking a lot about the Trump assassination attempt, and tonight we're going to talk a lot more through it because, you know, there's conspiracy theories. There is obviously negligence, may be intentional, what have you. Now, there's a gentleman by the name of Dallas Alexander. I don't know if that's his real name or not, but he is a Nashville singer, country artist, but he was a former member of the elite JTF2 unit. He released an Instagram story saying that the shooter had to have help. And if you don't know what the Joint Task Force 2 is, or JTF2, it is Canada Tier 1 Special Operations Force, and they are, Tier 1 Special Operations guys. And so he has spent a lot of time doing counter sniper work and stuff like that. So I want to play his video to give you some insight, and we'll go from there. I got a lot more stuff as well.
Being asked about this, so I'm just gonna let you know my opinion. I am talking about the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. And I know everyone's going to have some crazy opinion. Everyone's going to have a different opinion. It's going to be very wild for the next little while. But just if you don't know me or are new to this page, I spent just about 17 years in the military, just about 14 of which were at Tier 1 Special Operations unit called JTF2. Our sniper team has the world record for the longest confirmed sniper kill. And a huge part of our job while I was there and while I was a sniper was doing close protection for VIPs up to and including the Prime Minister when he would go to, dangerous countries like Iraq or Afghanistan. We would be in charge of that security. So I'm very familiar with the layout of these types of things and what the jobs should be. And yesterday, what happened, I have no doubts in my mind that the shooter had help from somewhere within an agency, an organization, or the government. The second I saw that aerial photo of what they were saying happened, it immediately made no sense to me. You cannot, in broad daylight, get onto a rooftop within, it looked like maybe a couple hundred yards, if that. You can't get into that position with a gun when there's a president speaking. It cannot be done. It's not like, you don't even need to be a sniper to know that it's the most fucking obvious thing, an obvious place in the whole world. You could be a 7th grader, like, what do we need to do for security here? Well, let's look at these rooftops that are almost within zeroing range of a rifle. So it's something happened, and I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. It's too obvious that this guy had help getting there. So whether it's someone turned a blind eye or it was strategically planned, I mean, it had to be planned to a certain level, because events like that and security like that, it's not a small thing. And that is the most obvious place to be. On top of that, I find it very strange that, if the story that comes out is like, oh yeah, he snuck into position and he got set up and nobody saw him, it was an oversight in security and Overwatch and we just made a mistake, sorry. I think it's also very weird that if that's the case and someone is good enough to stalk within 150 to 200 yards of one of the hardest to stalk targets in the whole world, you're not going to miss a shot. You're not going to miss that shot. Like, if you have the skill set to get in there, avoiding all of these security, all the different layers of security, then you will have the skill set to hit that first round. It doesn't make any sense. So my opinion is, and whether this comes out now or way later, is that this guy had help from somewhere. And I think it's obviously concerning. It's going to be wild. I think it's all you're going to see for the next little while. Anyway, just because I keep getting asked, that's my 2 cents. Have a good day, everybody.
So, again, I brought that guy's video on here because he's done this. He's done counter sniping, and obviously lots of training. He spent 17 years in the Canadian Special Operations. So what he's saying is that someone getting into stalking, and that's the sniper term for moving into position within that close of the former president. Now, let's say you try to walk down your street tomorrow with a rifle. How quickly will law enforcement arrive to ask you what you're doing? Much less at an event like this, where there's police presence everywhere. This kid was able to walk from his vehicle to the building, climb up a ladder. It does not make sense. You know, some comments last night, people said that I should not have an opinion. This is America. Okay, this is America. I can do whatever I want. But that I shouldn't have an opinion because I don't have legit evidence, that I should wait until the investigation is completed. By who? The FBI? The same FBI that led a coup against Donald Trump? They authorized deadly force at Mar-a-Lago. They said Russian collusion. They covered up Hunter Biden's laptop using social media platforms. I got a strike for that because the FBI. And now they're investigating the assassination. You think I'm going to believe anything they freaking say? Oh, let them. So many comments are saying, let the FBI do the mess. Shut up. Go vote for Biden because that's what you freaking are. Now, do you think they would ever let the truth come out? Really? Jeffrey Epstein was under 24-hour surveillance, physical surveillance, and video surveillance. And just so happened the officer went derelict of duty. The video equipment cut out. Then he winds up unalived. Yeah, I trust that. Oh, yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald got JFK. Sure. That's why they keep sealing the files. And this all comes out right after Biden's debate collapse. And everyone, including his largest donors, telling him to step down. Not even 2 weeks later. It's almost like the whole thing was engineered not just to eliminate Trump, but require an entirely new ticket, free of any Trump influence, maybe a Nikki Haley, who's controlled by the New World Order. Now, there was also some breaking news here. Let me get it up for you. The shooter was spotted on the roof nearly 30 minutes before the shooting. One officer at the rally took a photo of Crooks at 5:45 p.m. per his cell phone and called it in as a suspicious person. He had it on his cell phone, and you know your cell phone records the freaking time that you take a photo. So at 5:45, they had known this guy was on the roof. Oh, yes, nothing strange. This man with a rifle's up on top of a roof. Now, I told you last night that the FBI admits they cannot open the shooter's cell phone. I guarantee if it was Trump's cell phone, it would be all over the freaking New York Times. It'd be leaked everywhere, CNN. But they can't get into this shooter's cell phone with the best freaking hackers the government has. And this 20-year-old never has had social media, never has posted a single thing on social media or the internet ever. And the government's greatest hackers can't get into a cell phone. You believe this? They can't bypass it. You believe this? Like he's the only American that doesn't have any digital footprint whatsoever. The only one. I know 70-year-old ladies that have a bigger digital footprint than this kid. Maybe because it was wiped. Not only that, though, his former classmates claimed that he tried out for the rifle team at Bethel Park High School. The school's range was 50 feet long, 21 foot wide. They said that the student said that once he shot from the 7th lane, the closest to the right wall, he missed so badly he hit the left wall. But just so happens he hit Donald Trump in the ear, which would have been the head if Donald Trump had not turned his head at the last second. If this particular day Donald Trump did not turn his head at that last second, I would be making completely different videos right now. If I'd be making videos at all. So an untrained 20-year-old was able to climb into a hide spot almost undetected with a rifle in broad daylight. Come on. You guys are buying this? People's buying this? Really? Here's a classmate here talking about him. And this is the always what they say. Oh, he's a loner. Always a loner. A lone wolf.
Sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays, so they're gonna see someone like that and they're gonna target him because they think it's funny or whatever. So it's the best way I can describe it. And it's honestly kind of sad. Like, I don't want to say this is what provoked it, but you never know.
Yeah, you said he was a loner?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what provoked it. He was picked on. He was bullied. To go try to pull off this plot? How much did they pay this actor to say this stuff?
I want to say he was a loner more because he was quiet, but like he was just bullied. Like he was bullied so much.
This is high school.
Yeah.
What did they, do you remember at all what they said to him or called him?
No. He was just made fun of, I guess, for the way he dressed or his appearance. I mean,
y'all are buying this because the way he was dressed, he was made fun of, and so he went to go try to take out Donald Trump. Come on, man, enough of this junk. How much did they pay that actor? He wasn't even a good one. Now, let's talk about the building for a moment. It's owned by American Glass Research. They specialize in manufacturing, obviously, glass products. They were bought out by Indicor in March. Now, Indicor CEO is Doug Wright, whom used to work for Raytheon, right? And Ingersoll Rand. Raytheon is a former defense contractor, if you didn't know. Look at this right here. All this stuff. You can screenshot this and read it. And obviously, they're very sketchy individuals, Raytheon. He also worked for Honeywell. Honeywell and Raytheon both refused to donate to anyone voting against certifying Biden on J6. Oh, well, they had some major stake in the game. I wonder who they donate to. And why is it so big that they wanted to back Biden that much? Little behind the scenes lobbying. You know how the world works. You think politicians really are the ones that make the rules around here? Do you think politicians really come up with this stuff? No, it's very wealthy people. Global New World Orders type stuff. And Donald Trump is the biggest threat to that, right? Now, I saw this video, and this was the strangest thing. I know a lot of people have been posting about this. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you hadn't. But this woman here, I'm going to show the video here. Check out this video. So this woman, it keeps looking, and Donald Trump's right there, okay? She keeps looking in the direction of the shooter. She holds up the sign. She keeps looking nervous. She looks very nervous, this lady. The shots happen. She's unfazed. Unfazed. She's immediately got her cell phone filming Donald Trump. She doesn't know what's happening. Watch again. Look, unfazed. She keeps looking in the direction of the shooter. Who is this lady? Find out for me. I want to know. Maybe she's got nerves of steel. Could be. Where there's smoke, there's fire, though. That's what I always say. Now, Eric Prince, former Blackwater, he was on PBD earlier, also posted this. He said, hopefully after the tragedy yesterday in Butler, Pennsylvania, we can all recognize the unaccountable, bloated bureaucracies continue to fail us as Americans. Donald J. Trump is alive today solely due to a bad win estimate by evil would-be assassinate. The graphics show the full value wind of just 5 miles per hour, which would be enough to displace what he's saying unconfirmed 55 grain bullet, but probably what it is. Intended forehead to his ear. Donald J. Trump was not saved by the Secret Service brilliance. The fact that Secret Service allowed a rifle-armed shooter within 150 yards to a pre-planned event is either malice or massive incompetence. Clearly, there was adequate uncontrolled dead space for a shooter to move into a position and take multiple aim shots. So pick up what he's putting down. He's saying either the government was in on it or they're that incompetent. So let's just put it into the most basic of basic. Was the government in on it? Or was some very wealthy overlords that control the world in on it? Or could it just be that the government's so awful doing the most basic of tasks that we can't tell the difference whether they're in on it or not? You know, I'm not a bodyguard. I'm not been in the Secret Service. But, you know, I was talking to Mark from Centerline Systems earlier, and he's was in the military and as well as the agency. And I was just telling him, man, I'm not a bodyguard, but I would at least know what to do in this situation, right? I mean, the most basic, you can go take the most basically trained blue cord in the Army, and he would be able to set up a better security than this. I remember hearing, I don't know if you watched the video here, and I meant to get it, but the Secret Service agent, the female's saying, what do we do now? Like you can hear her on the mic. What do we do now? What the frick do you mean you don't know what to do now? You don't know what to do now? Like, this is your job. So the real fact that, again, is that the Secret Service didn't save his life. The fact that he turned his head at that moment is what saved his life. Now, again, look at this kid. This kid went from being the most horrible shooter, aiming from one side, shooting to the other by 21 feet. And all of a sudden, he's untrained, but he's able to climb into a hide spot with the most serious amount of quote unquote security and take a shot at the former president. You're buying it. Just tell me in the comments if you're buying it. All those naysayers in the comments last night. Someone said he missed. He did not miss. He hit Donald Trump in the ear, and it would have been his skull if Donald Trump had not turned his head. A lot of people saying he missed. He didn't miss. Donald Trump is wearing a bandage on his ear tonight. And you can watch the replay. They have slow motion footage. He turned his head at the exact moment. If not, the trajectory would have went through his skull. 100%. So either like the sniper who has a lot of experience at the beginning of the video says someone had to be in on it, and I'm in agreement. Or we have for real idiots doing this job. I could go get a kid that plays Call of Duty, a 10-year-old that plays Call of Duty that could have made a more secure perimeter. And you know, you look at what's going on, the way things are playing out. And I've been saying this for like a year. They're going to go through the various protocols. What can we do? What can we do to maintain this coming of New World Order? Okay. Biden is not in control. And if you think he is, I can't fix you. He's not in control. He's not making this stuff up. He's controlled. And the fact of the matter is that he lost the debate. 2020, we know what happened there. We don't have to even get into that. I've made tons of videos about that. We know what happened there. He was installed. So now he's losing terribly. So in a real vote, he would lose. Okay, so they wanted to remove Joe Biden. Joe Biden will not step down because he's so senile. He can't even understand that they're telling him he can't run. Okay, so now we've tried to character assassinate Donald Trump. We've tried to imprison him. We've tried to do all these things. We've tried to JFK him. That didn't work. Maybe they're going to try it again. This time it won't be a miss. Maybe they won't try a lone gunman. But what else do they have at play? World War III? Oh yeah, we can't have an election like Ukraine. Ukraine didn't have an election because we're at war. Zelensky said, no, we're not having elections. So he's now a dictator, technically. So that's the next play. But the bottom line, guys, is this is a spiritual war. And it's good and evil. But light and dark, age old, man. And you cannot participate. There's tons of guys that former veterans, a lot of some that don't participate, man. They're not into it. They're not talking about it. They're talking about going to go, run or something, whatever. But they don't want to lose followers. I can name names and I want to, but I'm not. You should be smart enough to realize this. A lot of Navy SEALs and stuff they're not going to take a political side because they don't want to lose followers. They got Democrat followers. They're making money. They don't want to lose money. And the fact of the matter is you don't have to participate because you won't lose followers, you won't lose money, but you'll keep your followers. Your life will be easier. You'll be more wealthy. But the fact of the matter is your children's lives won't. It won't be. It'll probably be full-blown communism by this time because you were too coward to stand up. And this goes for the common man as well. You can sit on the bleachers, but you got to get in the game. The thing is that you don't have to choose a side, but eventually the side will be chosen for you. Is how it works. And hopefully that hits home with some people tonight. Be careful who you support, man. And I'm not going to down anybody because that's not what I built my platform for. But there's people out there fighting for freedom. There's people that lose money. There's people that lose TV deals like me. I'll never be on TV again. And lots of business deals lost. But the thing is that, man, I want to be the light in the dark. You know what I'm saying? And Donald J. Trump is not going to be able to save the country himself. It's going to take all of us. That's a fact. That's a fact, guys. And I do want to say this, man. Somebody's saying some names here. I didn't say them. You said them. I didn't say them. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. I didn't prepare to tell you this, but I forgot about it. I'm not very good at being a businessman. Not very good at promoting my stuff. But anyway, we have our, whether you know this or not, I don't know if you're new here or not, but I just developed some flashlights, tactical lights, handheld weapon lights, things that I think everyone should own. And I work with Through Night because they're very affordable for the common man. I mean, in this inflation, can you afford a $400 flashlight? No. But the thing is it gets dark every day, right? Having a weapon light is the most important thing. Before you buy an optic, you should have a weapon light, right? For many reasons. And if you don't know how to use a weapon light, if you don't know how to clear a room and all that sort of stuff, I've got a video at blackscoutfilms.com. Not Black Scout Survival, blackscoutfilms.com, and you can learn all that stuff. It's called The Watchman. $10. But anyway, our flashlight, our weapon lights, things like that are on Prime deal. I'll put the link below, so go pick them up. I think they're 40% off, which is crazy. And they don't come from us. I just designed the flashlights for the company. But anyway, 40% off. Go get you some. It gets dark every day. And I'll put the link in the pinned comment because people always ask, pinned comment. That's where you can go get them. We got a great one, the BSS Tac Light, which has a strike bezel for hand-to-hand combat fighting. And the thing is, the bezel is removable. I thought I had one here, and usually I do. But the bezel comes off so you can go through those pesky checkpoints where they try to take all your defense mechanisms away. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me. And those guys that chatted with me, keep doing. Thank you, brother. Blue Dragon, you're the man. He gifted another 50 memberships. What a stud. He gifted 50 memberships last night. Good for you, brother. Deborah is a new member. And Perez, Fox, Brooklyn, New York. Thank you. I do appreciate you guys. Please leave a comment what you think. Am I crazy, or do you think he had help too? Anyway, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me. Remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous.